Hey guys, today we're gonna make some ribs and mac and cheese. Look at how soft this meat is. It basically kind of just falls apart. Look at that. Alright, so these are all the ingredients that we're gonna use for the ribs. Then you're gonna preheat your oven to 350. This is not something that I'm an expert at, so I know that you want to remove the membrane, and I was kind of struggling a little bit, but I did my best to kind of just clean it up and get rid of most of it. Look at the struggle. Look at the struggle I was having. These also aren't my particular favorite type of ribs, but I got it. You see that? I pulled it all out at the end. Anyways, so once you got it as best as you possibly can and get rid of that membrane, just pat your ribs dry. You want to do both sides, so ideally you're going to do the other side too. And then I transfer it to a dry piece of aluminum foil because the other piece is obviously wet because I washed or rinsed out the meat before starting to take off the membrane. So this is cayenne pepper, onion powder. Are all the spices I use. You can use different spices if you want to. Garlic powder, oregano, and we're gonna hit it with some salt. Don't put too much. I mean, you could always put as much as you want, but I don't want to put a whole ton of salt because the sauce that we're gonna use, I'm sure, has a ton of sodium too. And then we're going to drizzle olive oil on top, and then we're going to massage all of this into the meat and try to make sure you get every crevice and every little piece seasoned, marinated, and then you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing. And I did forget paprika on the other side, but I did include it on this side, so off video I kind of had to flip it back and add it in, but we got it for this side, so that's also something else that I use. Alright, so adding the salt and then paprika, and then we're gonna go ahead and add the olive oil, and we're gonna massage all of that into the meat. Make sure you kind of just, get it really in there, that little fold, and yeah, look at that. And I'm using sweet brown sugar. I am also using the original. You can use one sauce if you prefer one sauce over the other, but I kind of just wanted to have both in there. And then I use this little brush thingy. I don't know what it's called, but I brush all the sauce on the side, and then this was a complete mission, let me tell you, because it was kind of sticky and I was trying to flip it and then I didn't gauge it enough, so I kind of made a mess on the stove and I had to clean that. But anyways, you do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that it's completely covered in all the sauce. You can put as much or as little bit as you want, but we're also going to brush it again later on, so it's not necessary to put a ton of it in the one go. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and fold the foil over, and we're going to kind of just wrap it up, like a baby in a blanket. We're gonna wrap it completely. Make sure that it is fairly tight. You could always cook this if you have a smoker, or if you want to cook it out on the grill or whatnot. You can do that too. I don't have that. I just got my oven. So anyways, I am wrapping it in obscene amount of foil because I don't want the juices to seep out and be all over the bottom of my oven. So this is my attempt to make sure that I can prevent that. Anyways, we're gonna put it on this sheet thing. It barely fits. I don't have anything bigger, so this is kind of what I had to deal with. I got it. It seems good, so I was risking it. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the mac and cheese now. These are all the ingredients and my water bottle. Alright, so we're gonna throw in the elbows into the water once it's boiling. Make sure you salt your water. There's nothing worse than not salting your pasta water. Give it a little stir so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And once it's cooked, this is how I check if it's cooked. I don't know if there's a specific way, but that's how I check. These are my mittens, my cooking mittens. My best friend got me these. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and drain all this water. This was a mission because this thing was pretty heavy and I was also trying not to burn myself and my glasses were fogging up. Anyways, we're gonna add some butter and kind of just stir it all in there so that the butter kind of melts. And we want to make sure that we get all this done while it's kind of still hot. Alright, so I'm going to add some black pepper, onion powder, smoked paprika. I went back and added more of that, by the way, so that wasn't enough. And lots of garlic powder. Add the whipping cream and stir all of that up. Now we're gonna hit it with the cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar cheese. And I'm also using the Colby Jack cheese. And in a little bit, I'll be adding the mozzarella cheese. And just stir all that in there. This is my lazy way of making mac and cheese, by the way. Normally I would make a roux, but I can't be bothered. I'm much too tired. The ribs are already a long enough process to do. So I was just like, we're gonna go kind of simple today. Look at that. Yeah. And this is the mozzarella. I got mozzarella cheese at Costco because I like a lot of cheese and it just seems more worth it to buy it at Costco. You got like 2 giant bags for like, I don't know, like 14 bucks. And then you just mix it. Just stir all that in there. Cheesy. Alright, so we're gonna just go ahead and transfer all that to the pan. You could eat it like this if you wanted to. I'm gonna put it in the oven to bake. Also, I am going to make sure that I cover it with foil at the end after I finish spreading all this. And we're gonna also top this off with some more of the whipping cream. And we're also going to go ahead and add the mozzarella cheese. Look at all that cheese. I just love cheese. And also, excuse the mess. Ignore those tiny pieces of macaroni that fell on my stove. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Anyways, yeah, so pop that in there. And then I took a little break. I was watching Suzume. I was almost done with this part of the movie, and I was just dying to finish it. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take the mac and cheese out. I kind of left it in there for slightly too long, I'll be honest with you guys. So normally what I would have done was leave the mac and cheese in for like 15 minutes, but I got distracted with my movie. Anyways, I'm gonna put on to broil, and we're gonna unravel these ribs. I am amazed that none of this like dripping fell on the bottom of my stove. Anyway, so that's what the ribs look like. I let the ribs cook for 2 hours on 350 degrees. Normally I would do 3 hours, but I was really hungry and I was tired of waiting. So we're gonna go ahead and take out the mac and cheese. Look at that. I was so hungry at this point, I was just ready to eat. So much cheese. Okay. We're gonna finish the ribs here. We're gonna add the sauce. This is the brown sugar and the original. Again, you could just choose one if you want to. You could choose completely different flavors if you want to. Totally up to you. Oh, I also did use like a new piece of foil, by the way. Yeah, so just use your little brush thingy, you know, be the best painter that you can be, and brush all of your ribs with that, and then transfer it back to the tray and put it back in the oven for like 15 minutes so the sauce can kind of just caramelize. Alright, so we're gonna make coleslaw. I don't eat coleslaw often, but this is how I make it. I put in mayonnaise, and I add a little mustard, but today the mustard wasn't complying with me. It was just like, nope, not today. Anyways, I got it. And then we're gonna put in onion powder. We're gonna put in some parsley. You could use fresh parsley if you want to. I didn't have it. And then we're gonna use black pepper, some salt, my garlic. This is garlic that I just blended up and put in the fridge. And then we're gonna use some sour cream. And then we're gonna add some of the Caesar salad dressing that I have in the fridge, some heavy whipping cream, and we're gonna add some lime juice. And then you just combine it. Yeah, you could just decide how much or how little you want of things by just tasting it after you give it a stir, and then you'll know if you want to add more stuff to it. So that's basically how I determine what the flavor profile I want, if it's like correct or not. Anyways, but I like creamy coleslaw. I don't really like the vinaigrette type of coleslaw. I also don't eat it often, so when I do eat it, this is how I make it. Also, you would never catch me eating coleslaw outside at like a restaurant or anything like that. I only eat it at home. And then I just add the mixture. I believe it's just like carrots, cabbage. That's like about it. There's like purple cabbage and then regular cabbage and then like carrots. And then you just mix it, just stir it all up till it's all combined. And it looks like that. It actually came out super delicious. This is just how I eat it. I like it. And now we're gonna pull out these ribs. So because I didn't leave my ribs in the oven for like the normal 3 hours that I would, it was slightly more difficult to cut. Oh, I'm making more biscuits, by the way. It was slightly difficult to cut just because the cartilage was kind of annoying to cut through, but they were still super duper duper soft. It was just the matter of getting through like the cartilage. It would have been a lot softer if I had left it in for the full 3 hours, but 2 hours is enough, and I was like super hungry at this point. I was ready to devour. Anyways, guys, so that's what it like falls right off. So these are the ribs. This is what the final product of the ribs look like. And then I serve my coleslaw. And I added the mac and cheese. And then once the biscuits popped out the oven and were ready to go, I went ahead and put it on my plate. And that's what it looked like. That was my dinner, and that's how I made my ribs and my mac and cheese. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Bye.